Jim Kota, and I'm here at the Museum of Arts and Sciences in Daytona Beach, and we're at the Apollo 11 exhibit.
You were a young man 50 some years ago when you went to work for GE at the Apollo program, trying to get specifically to the moon. That whole era, if you had a few seconds to explain to your kids and grandkids what it is you did and what you guys accomplished, what would you tell them?
Well, I would tell them that the objective was to get men to the moon and to bring them back safely. That was the overall objective. And it took a lot of people, and it took a tremendous amount of planning and coordination across the U.S. as well as with many different skills and stuff like that. So I was pretty amazed myself that I was a part of it and happy to be there.
What specifically did you do? What was your job?
I was a part of the GE checkout equipment, and what we did was we basically checked out the command module, the lunar module, and the service module while they were being prepped for launch and right up to the time of launch from Cape Canaveral. And I helped with the equipment, making sure that the test equipment was running right and operating.
And I assume that the hyper-focus on perfection from top to bottom in a series like this, this type of program, is something that sticks with an engineer probably his whole life.
It really does, because you feel like you're responsible for getting these people launched safely and back again safely. And your little part may not seem like much, but you feel like if you didn't do it right, it's going to be a problem for somebody, and you don't want to be that problem.
Take us through your emotions from takeoff, specifically the takeoff of Apollo 11, and then seeing Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin on the moon. What were you, if you can take us back to your time watching that on television or wherever you were, and just your emotions of it all?
Well, it was, by that time we had actually launched several Saturn V's, and so it became something that you just assumed was going to be successful, and you held your breath during the launch. And the thing about the Saturn V, it was such a slow launch. It just was very stable and very slow. It was almost like a beautiful sight to go. And then you'd follow it for days. It took days for them to get to the moon, to land on the moon. And I think the biggest point for me was when they opened up and they stepped down onto the moon and we could actually see them because they had the camera there.
Yeah.
That was pretty amazing.
Did it, and your feelings about knowing that you were one small part of this and humongous effort?
It was just that. It was just feeling like I did my part, and I'm a happy person.
and looking back, I assume you're going to say it doesn't seem like it was 50 years ago.
It does not. It does not seem like it's 50 years ago at all.